All right, guys, welcome back. It's been a been a while. So I got a little update here. Sorry, I'm all sweaty. I got an update after Kentucky Jets. So gonna talk about there it is, that guy on the table right there. So that's the Minion jet. Got it flown at Kentucky Jets, and I'll get to that here in a minute. I got a few other things in the shop I want to talk about. New project, and a couple little things I picked up at the event to try out, that I'll do some videos on and everything too. So that's kind of what this video is just kind of an update, kind of talking through some stuff, some of the issues I had with the Minion jet at the event. Nothing crazy, just some little things, and it's just the way they designed it. And I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it was. So a couple little fixes, and then it'll be back in the air. Excuse me. So let's get to it. All right. So the first thing with this guy, 300 ran good, no issues with the motor other than the popping. We lowered the RPM on it to kind of get, because it's got such a high idle. Lowered it a little bit, and we tried two different settings. Both were fine, but I just came up just a little bit because of the popping at idle, and apparently that's a thing with Schwinn. So other than being kind of like annoying and embarrassing, it runs fine. I didn't run it at full throttle very much, because this jet just does not need it. I think you could fly this jet on a 260 no problem. I think a 300 is a bit much for it, considering its wing loading, and it's a scale jet, so they say, and you got to fly it like a scale jet. But I flew, I'm not kidding, I flew most of the flights. I put 4 flights on it. Everything was pretty much, most I would really go is about 60% throttle. And I went full throttle a couple times. It actually, one of the issues I ran into, it pulled my dash down because of the suction. So it makes me wonder. I think there's plenty. I don't think that's a suction is an issue. I did a simple little mount on the forward section, and this just kind of hung there. So I think it just pulled down, and everything. Plus, the other issue I had was the gear doors. You can see here the hinge where the servo is kept breaking, and this happened after the gear the nose gear came up on me, and it hit and it broke it. A couple little scratches, nothing crazy. That's another problem I gotta fix. This air valve, when you power up for the first few seconds before it gets a signal, it cycles the gear up, and that's what not what caused it, but I was aware of it at that point. I lost a whole day trying to figure that air valve out. I'm gonna put another one in there and see if it's something I did to the air valve. And if not, I'm just gonna pull that that high flow one out and put a just standard Jetronics, because the gear on this thing comes up super easy. It's got way more torque than it needs. You could literally put like 40 psi in this thing and it would still operate no problem, because I would have 20% in it just to open and close the gear when I was testing it, and the shit would take your finger off if you weren't careful. So definitely doesn't need high flow or anything crazy, which is a good thing because it's a big heavy gear. But that's a problem I gotta fix. I gotta fix the cycling up on power up, and it's not the fail-safe sequencer, because we plugged it straight into the power system and it still did it then. And I could make it work by switching the lines and flipping that switch, but then the valve wouldn't function. So you've got to hook it up like out is out, in is in, and that switch has to be in the down position went to operate normal. Now it worked great like I wanted it. Like I rolled it up in the trailer, flipped that switch without any power, gear comes up, and I just sit it right on the floor and transport it. That's what I put that in there for, but that switch isn't worth the hassle of every time I power this thing up, the gear wanting to cycle up. So if I can't fix that, I'm just going to ditch that one and go with the standard. But this, I glued it 3 times, and they've got a outer skin and an inner skin. It's very flimsy. I even glued it to the back wall and it still pulled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get this apart. If I can get this top skin off, I need to beef this up, and the problem now is it doesn't hold its shape. I don't know if it's just because it's not holding its shape like it was. I'm gonna have to reshape it somehow, but the front of the door is opening, and I think that's what's breaking this. You're getting air in there and it's popping it open. And I really no way to put a servo on the front side of it. So I got to come up with a better way to fix this. This stuff is just, you know, these little bitty hinges. That's the only glue point, is like right there. It's a big door. So that's a fix that I got to come up with, and it kept pulling. Well, it pulled them off once because they just had them tacked to the, and it's another thing you can kind of see. It's very flimsy. It's a outer skin with this inner skin, and it's very flimsy. So it needs to be filled, like either fill that with the high saw, or because it just popped right off. You know, they put it right on top of the glue. The screw only goes kind of halfway in, and I even put the screws back into the point where they were about to touch the outer skin. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is either mark these, cut 2 squares, put blocks that go all the way in and glue to this back skin, or come through this with a countersunk screw into this and put like a little bolt that way. But that to me is just, I would rather do the block, because a screw is just going to get loose over time and pull through. So I'm probably just going to, you know, you got to be careful because they got them marked right, and it kind of gives you the right mechanics. So what I'm going to do is get them, you can see this one's even, actually that one's, oh, it bent the daggum rod. So these need some work. Yeah, these definitely need some work. And it's actually, I think it's about to come loose. So I got to fix all that. Yeah, you can see it's already pulled loose a little bit. Yeah, so that one's just being held in by the screw actually. So I got to work on this. I had them where they weren't really pulling, so I don't know, and they're in line, so I don't know why it's an issue, but other than the fact that they slam up really fast. But when you're in the air, they don't come up as fast, but they really come down hard. So that would be another positive to putting the other Jetronic air valve in there, is because I could put a pulse on it, so it builds pressure slowly over about 6 seconds or 3 seconds versus the slam down, and the same going up. So that's a fix. That's the fixes that I got to do. Other than that, I want to put some high saw in the joint for the ball on the rudder, because it just has a little bit more slop. The ball's just a little bit too small for the little metal insert that they have in the rudder. And other than that, that was it. Flew great. It's a big baby. I'm gonna have to give it more aileron, because I would go full aileron and it was a very slow roll. Not really fun. So I got to increase the roll a little bit, but other than that, just a couple clicks of trim and it flew great. Lights worked great. I'm going to, the cockpit's not here, but I'm going to put white lights in the cockpit versus the red. Reds are useless, don't really do anything. And of course there's my phone. Anyway, whoa. Spam. But yeah, so there you go. I got that put on before. I'm actually gonna put lights on each main, just to give it some more lights. I think what I had on there looks good. It just needs to be, I'm just gonna put the lights on there. CG seems to be good. I didn't get it inverted and do any kind of inverted flight with it yet. I do want to, another fix is I'm going to take some high saw and put right here and on the wing side, because there is a little bit of play in those. Oh, sorry guys, wasn't paying attention. So there's a little bit of play here and on the wing side, so when they're on, you get just a little bit of play. So I'm going to put some high saw in here on this area, and then on the wing, same area on the wing side. And then as it's curing, I'll put some oil or grease on the wing tube and run it in, and that really gets a nice tight fit. And if I need to, I can always sand to make a perfect fit. But again, gear doors were the main issue. So I got to fix gear doors. I'm going to put another support right here. You can kind of see, because it broke the canopy when it pulled it down. I'm going to remove this magnet that I had in here on the cockpit, and I'm just going to put another crossbeam support here, re-glue this one in, and that should hold it just fine. So fix that, fix the gear doors, put a little bit of glue there and a little bit of glue there, and it'll be good to go. Not a lot of work, but flies great, and it'll be exactly what I wanted it. Nice fun little flyer. I got a little slow on the last one, just trying to milk it to get it closer, and it tip stalled, and I scrubbed a wing. So I got to do a little touch-up paint. So lesson learned, stop trying to show off. But yeah, it's just a little touch-up paint. And okay, so moving on. I know this is kind of long, what we're looking at, like 11 minutes, 12 minutes almost. So this is what I picked up. I sold the T1 Micro and walked over to this guy, gave him some cash with some more cash, and came home with said he had 2 flights on it. It's a BVM 1/8 scale F-15, and as you can see, I've already kind of started tearing into it a little bit. I don't want to touch it yet because I've got a motor ordered for it. If the motor will show up, I will get this done for Georgia Jets. If not, when I can. But it's a scale jet, it's a perfect size, it'll go with the Corsair. You know, be good that I can take this and the Corsair when I want to just go to like local stuff, so I don't have to pull out the big ones. So I'm going through it. I've already found some stuff. I mean, I know BVM is, you know, they do a lot of work making a model fly good, but it's still made by Chinese, and it's got issues, you know, not issues, but just stuff that I'm going to fix and clean up, and to my liking. I'm also going to put a new cockpit in. The one that comes with it's kind of generic and cheesy. So I'm going to put new seats in it, scale looking seats. Not much I can do with the canopies, you know, this stuff. So I want to put do some work on this, put like a little heads up display. That's really all I want to do. I'm not going to run the pump or smoke system in it, so that stuff's going to come out. And from what I'm told, I'm going to put a 160 in it. Everybody else uses bigger motors, but a 160, these 2 tanks should be, you know, 10 minutes easy. So that's what I'm hoping, because I want a model that I don't have to worry about gas. Like the A7, I have to keep a good check on that when I'm flying, especially at events, because if you don't get in before the masses start all trying to land, you know, it gets critical fuel. So this is something I want to be a more relaxing and can just fly it, you know. So, and I'm trying to get some ordnance made for it, and if I can, that'll be awesome. If not, no big deal, but the cockpit will at least be updated. I'm going to put a new cockpit in the A7 as well, and down the road I might put a new cockpit seat in the F-22. So, but and before I end the video, I picked this up too. I know you guys have seen these RC CG machines. He was at the event and they had one for auction. I bid on the auction one, and I saw Lewis bidding on it because he actually bought the CG machine I donated last year to the event. So when I saw that when he was bidding on it, I just let it go. Wasn't going to bid anymore. And then I went and talked to the guy, and I noticed he had signs up for his demo model. Like I said, he just, every time he goes to an event, he just pulls a new one out of the box and uses it for his demo, and then he sells it at a discounted rate at the event. So most of you know I use the CG machine on the big Viper, and the big models like this you have to have the extensions, so that's a good thing. But I got a good deal on it, and it's high quality, man. You get the shit you get in here. You know, if you can afford one, I would highly recommend it, because it makes the CG machine, you know, no guesswork. You know, your measurements are much easier, and I figured why not, you know, support the guy and everything. It's a good product, and I'm gonna do a video kind of, you know, kind of running through it. But you get some rulers, you know, it's really nice anodized, and you get a case for it and everything. So it comes with the wrenches and everything you need. So the only thing it doesn't have is the CG machine, but you know, you just put your own CG machine on it and go to work. So excited to use that for the F22 and the SU. So, but you can do small stuff too. As it is, you can do most models, I would say up to, you know, probably a 200 size. You can probably get maybe even a little bigger, get it on this one without the extensions. But if you get much bigger, you're gonna need the extensions. Then they just plug in on the side, mainly on the cross beam. So, but yeah. So some, you know, right tool for the right job kind of thing. So, and he has different colors and everything, and it's www.rccgmachine.com. Duh, I'm an idiot. So it's rccgmachine.com. So, but that's it. Kind of a long-winded video. I know. I apologize. Oh, and I got some. I'm gonna do some videos on this. I'm gonna try, and I've already mentioned the Phaba Garo, so I'm hoping this guy will work as good as the Cortex, because these new DLPH2s, when you run a 2 receiver, you can run like just a lead. I think it's 1 or 2 leads from this guy up to the gyro, and you don't have to plug receivers into the gyro and then have patch cables going to the power system. So trying to find something that's a simplified setup and everything. So I'll do a video on that. But, so sorry guys, long-winded video. Just trying to get caught up. But yeah, I'm going to take a break, clean up the last bit of mess in the shop. All right, I don't have cabinets and storage yet. I'll get that eventually, which will make life easier. But I went through and was, you know, that's all my stock items. That's some other stuff. I had to clean out we had 2 spare bedrooms, and one of them I was using for everything. So it is now a spare bedroom number 2. So everything's in here, all my 3D printing stuff. I gotta get that stuff set up. And this is the last clutter that I gotta deal with. So that's gonna be the kind of the focus today. And then if I have time, I might start working on that and things. I'm just not motivated. I was kind of really busy, you know, 2 work trips out of town, up against a 3-week vacation, come back, had COVID, worked through that and getting everything ready for Kentucky, and went to Kentucky the following week. And then this is the first weekend I've had since then. So I'm kind of decompressing and chilling out a little bit. So, but you guys have a good one. Sorry for the long-winded video. Give me a subscribe or a thumbs up, thumbs down. If you like what I'm doing, and I'll get to some repair videos, rebuild videos. This one's, like I said, it was plug and play. It has servos in it and everything minus receiver and turbine. And I'm just going through it and making it my own, doing the things I typically do, and trying to add some detail to it. I would have, you know, just to make it look a little bit more scale. And then I'll finish the F22, and then once all this stuff is done, I will start on the SU, and that'll probably be fall, early winter kind of starting time frame. So, but you guys have a good one. Again, sorry for the long-winded video. Hit that subscribe button. It helps. Well, hopefully eventually it'll help. And thumbs up, thumbs down, and any comments. Let me know what you think. Have a good one. Cheers.